Our time for Morning Beat. Is the constant turnover among Hawaii's educational leaders impacting our students? Honolulu Civil Beat has been looking into the churn amongst leadership at the Board of Education. Good morning to you, Chad.
Good morning, Grace.
All right, so there's been a lot of turnover at the top of the Board of Education, and it's really been happening in the last couple of years.
Yeah, Megan Takumi is our education reporter, and she notes that Roy Takumi, a former lawmaker who chaired education when he was in the House, has been named by the governor to lead the Board of Education. But this will be the third leadership change at the top in just 2 years' time. The person that the governor appointed just a year ago didn't last very long, and during that person's tenure, Warren Haruki, there was some turnover. There were other vacancies there in top staff. So the question is the board, with all this turnover, really exercising the proper oversight over the Board of Education, or rather over the Department of Education?
Why are we seeing so much turnover right now?
That's a very good question. You know, 7 of the 9 members of the Board of Education are up for confirmation with the Senate right now. That seems to be going pretty well, so we'll know soon enough whether they will get on there. But part of it is a concern that you just have a Senate that's constantly having suggestions, having questions about the way the schools are run. Obviously, that is their oversight responsibility as well. The budget for the Board of Education is huge. That's a lot of money, but that also gives the Senate some leverage, if you will, over the schools.
There's some concern, too, because if you are a member of the Board of Education, this is not an easy job, something you can just jump into really quick.
No, there's a real big learning curve. In fact, Megan talked to previous board chairs who said, you know, you can't just jump in and hit the ground running. There's a lot to learn. But that is one of the problems that's very challenging. Remember as well, this is an all-volunteer board. These people are not paid to do that. And sometimes the board has pretty hot issues. Remember during COVID, a lot of people saying, why are you not returning the kids to the classrooms? Why are you having this policy and that policy? So it can be a hotbed of concerns.
And in just recent years, there's also been a lot of concern about transparency, particularly with salaries.
Yeah, that's one of the things that they're concerned about, as well as posting materials for meetings and time so the public can find out. One former teacher told Megan, you know, they're only posting them 2 days in advance, not 6 days in advance. Are they trying to keep the public away from participation? So that's a big problem as well. Remember, we have a sunshine law that does require transparency. If you can't see what's going on with the schools, how do we know how to fix things?
So do we think this is having an impact on our students?
Well, that's hard to say. The story doesn't go too deeply into that, but clearly we are talking about a system of nearly 300 schools statewide. That's a lot of people that are involved. It's a huge budget, about $2 billion. So that is the ultimate concern. Are the students and their parents being served?
All right, you should definitely check this out. You can read the full article at civilbeat.org, or you can text 66866 to get the newsletter. Chad, thanks for being here today.
Thanks, Grace.
We'll be right back.